Well, Kyle Orland is a senior gaming editor at Ars Technica. It's a technology, news, and information website. I had a chance to ask him about the impact of sexism in the gaming culture.
A very broad issue there. There's been a large reactionary movement in the game industry recently to females who want to be more involved with the making and playing of games. And people feel like, I think, that this is crowding out some of the games that they've grown up with. Usually, traditionally, in the past decades, it was young boys mainly playing games after the 70s and the 80s. And they feel like more attention is going away from those types of games and towards new types of games, casual games or story-based games that don't have as much action. And I think some people feel like kind of their toys are being taken away almost. And
this has really blown up. It's called Gamergate. And if you go online and look for it, you can find a ton out there. And then if you go into some of the chat discussions, it really gets kind of ugly. Yeah. How did this happen? What is wrong with women designing games, playing games, or reviewing games?
Well, it's important to note that Gamergate is a really broad term. People use it to represent a lot of things, and some people have use it for trouble with the gaming media, what they see as bias. But again, for a lot of people, it's just a change from what they are used to. It's a new way of looking at it. And it's kind of the same type of reactionary movement that we've seen with Hollywood. You know, it's almost a sign of gaming growing up that it gets its own reaction like this. Before, it was nothing so organized. There were some people grumbling about it, maybe, but now this is one thing that they can all get behind and say, we don't want people being politically correct. We don't want people, they consider it censorship when people are trying to reach out to these marginalized groups, I guess, people of color and women specifically, and they want artistic freedom, is what they would call it.
Well, when you think about any kind of industry growing, you want to attract more and more people. So sure, it makes sense to reach out to women, to girls, to play these games. I want to talk a bit more about Gamergate. You say it's a very wide topic, but it gets kind of ugly, and there have been some very serious consequences. I've read about people concerned about stalking, violent threats against women. Do we see this getting worse and worse and worse? Are there efforts to try and to tone this down?
I hope not. I hope it's not getting worse and worse. It's the kind of thing that's kind of just bred out of internet anonymity. It's the people who are making these threats most of the time, they're not really serious about it. They're just, you know, lonely people, I think, looking for laughs on the internet. And they know they're never going to be found, most likely, unfortunately. So it's a hard thing to really tamp down on. It's the kind of problem we've had for a long time on the internet, and it's just coalescing now in the gaming space.
Kyle Orland, thanks very much for shining us some insight onto that. We appreciate it.